got you some Jimmy Dean's breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, hell yeah.
We are here at the Tier House, which is just CrossFit Connex, but they decked it out with tier stuff. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing in this first hour. I think I'm helping coach class with a guy named Gui Malheiros. After that, I have a seminar, which you guys are going to see.
I'd like to introduce you to Guy. You probably know Guy, but I'll just introduce you to Guy. Good morning, guys. My name is Guy. For those that don't know me, for those that don't know, that does know me, I'm the same person. We're gonna do some games right now. Then we're gonna do a warm up and some technique, snatch technique with Zack. So right now, what we're gonna do is pretty simple. You guys gonna like just run around in circles, and when I stop the music, I will say a number, and you guys gotta like do groups with that number. Start running. Five. Okay, start running. 9. 10. 4 lines with the group that you're in. Okay. Pretty simple game. First people, first front people, whatever. We grab the ball, pass overhead to the back, like her. Next person. Under the legs. Yeah. That's smart. Okay, so that's how we're gonna work. When you get to the last person will run to the front, do the same thing until they get to the front again. Okay? Okay, so everyone, 5 burpees, let's go. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Zach. I do a lot of weightlifting stuff, whether it's content creation, but I've coached and competed in weightlifting for a long time. And I'd say the big selling point on whatever I do, it's because I'm built like this, and I've tried to make that work along the way. So I appreciate Tier for having me and for these awesome ass shoes. First things first, I just want everyone to know that the bottom position of your snatch is like such an underrated aspect of the lift. And I think, honest to God, if there's a strong point of this guy right here, it's his bottom position and his mobility. I think that's like, seriously, it's a very key component of his style of weightlifting. So when I look at weightlifting, I look at it through the lens of an Olympic weightlifter. And I think, seriously, his bottom position, mobility, is his greatest strength. He's obviously a very strong, capable lifter, but I think that is a very important aspect of it. So the first thing that I want you guys to be thinking of is we're not just putting our hip crease below our knee crease to complete a rep in this case, right? We're doing it because we have to. So I think a lot of times we think, is that a rep or is that a no rep, right? And so when we're doing an overhead squat, when we're doing an air squat, we're like, okay, well, what's a rep? The hip crease below the knee crease, right? Maybe something like this. But in the snatch, the hip crease goes below the knee crease because it has to. It is the most important part. So this is a very tight position for him, okay? But realistically, when he snatched 310, probably a little bit lower when he caught everything. Like there was a moment where he was here. His knee is fully compressed, okay? And his hip crease, you would think like his quads or his femurs are damn near touching his chest. His knees get really close to his armpits, okay? Now, he has to be able to hold his hands overhead, you can reach him. That is his greatest strength, in my opinion. So it starts with just something as simple as, and we can all kind of do this, so just make sure you have a little bit of room, okay? It starts with something as simple as just crouching, and what you can see with me, like I'm actually on my toes here. And what you want to feel is this awkward compression in your knee. It kind of hurts for some of you, okay? This position is where you kind of have to roast in for a while here. Okay, this is key. And then we can start wiggling around, getting our hip down, our heels down. Okay, now I can try and straighten out my back. Already I know some of you are struggling. I mean, I feel it, right? Trying to distract you while we do this. I don't know what to say. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach behind us. Hopefully there's no barbell. We're gonna fall to our butt here. Usually when I do stuff like this, guys, I don't like to stand up out of that. And like, I just snatched 300 pounds 2 days ago. I wouldn't stand up out of something like that. Okay, it's just an awkward kind of mobility thing. You could, if you wanted to. So from here, we'll just stretch nice and easy. And then we're gonna stand back up. Okay, now let's go back down. You might feel like you have to round your back, that's okay. If you feel like you cannot sit up or you cannot put your hands over your head, probably today, the power snatch is gonna be a better bet for you, probably. Okay, I don't think it's the rule here that you have to squat. I don't know this workout entirely, no. So, but if this is a comfortable position for you, it will be more efficient. Now we're gonna reach behind us, sit. Oh yeah. Guy, can you grab 2 plates? Okay, so we're not gonna have time really to put you guys through this, but I think mentally, again, this is what I want to translate to you in the bottom position. Oftentimes, when we learn the overhead squats, I don't need to use you just yet. Okay. We get the bar overhead. They'll say, you know, armpits facing forward, elbows up, right here. Okay. I could have very good mobility, and this is still going to feel pretty awkward for me. Okay. And so, throughout this learning process, many of you have learned how to squat from the top down, and I just want us to reconsider it and learn it from the bottom up. Yep, nice and relaxed. If he sits back like this, he can't stand from there. Right? It's hard to stand. The only way that he can stand is if he kind of leans forward a little bit, just like that. Okay? So what we're gonna look for is that same compressed knee, everything compressed position that we had in the bottom. We're just mimicking that position we were just in, but we now get the plates so we can be here a lot longer. Okay? So he can actually get in a little bit closer, tighter, tighter, tighter. Now, he just has to lean a little bit. You can already see he's gonna start to come off the plates. Yep, and he stands. Okay, one more rep. Just like that. Okay? Now what we're gonna do, let's say we have the bar in our overhead position, we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're here. Okay, we're not gonna look up at the bar, we're not gonna have the bar in the middle of the skull. We're gonna just simply tuck our chin slightly. You guys see that? Slight tuck of the chin, and I can hinge and stand. But notice how I'm starting everything from this position. because this position holds so much more value than this. So when you guys all learn how to overhead squat, you're all learning from the least valuable position, which is standing. All he's gonna do is hinge and stand. Then he's gonna bring the barbell back to his back and sit. Press, hinge and stand. Bring it down to your back and sit. Okay? After this, he's going to press overhead, stand, then he's gonna bring it down to his back. Stay standing. Now he's gonna press behind his back. Now he's gonna hinge, try to touch the plates, and then he'll bring it back down. Okay. Then, after a certain point, go ahead and stand up, Gui. We're gonna put it on our back. He's gonna step away from the box. He's going to act like that box is still there. He's gonna press, sit. If you can do that, that's impressive, okay? But we'll just do basic overhead squats. Okay, so basically, if you could see, if I press this barbell straight overhead, yeah, that kind of works, but you see this position I get to midway through, okay? Now I can press it straight overhead, and all I'm gonna do is kind of pull through just a little bit. We don't wanna start doing stuff like this, okay? The bar almost stays in the same position, and I just pull myself down a little bit. Now I'm in a much more solid position. Any questions on any of that, guys? Rotate through this a lot, okay, for the next 5 or so minutes. Get as many reps as you can, and then we'll move on. This is where we're getting our mobility work in. This is going to lead directly to the snatch, so take this seriously. Let's go. Okay, all Gui's gonna do is bring his elbows high and flick his wrist up. Okay, here and flick. Yeah. Okay, now he's gonna combine that with a squat, so it'll be like something like this. That simple, okay? Good, relax. Okay, and then finally what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and get some sort of hip contact, okay? And the drill that I wanna do is actually just called contact drill. This is literally the first time we've met was today, so he doesn't get this. It's just, he doesn't know my curriculum, I wouldn't expect him to, okay? He's gonna bend at his hips and knees. So bend your knees a little bit more. He's gonna let the bar come away from him. Yeah, eyes forward. Now all he's gonna do is nice and slow come up and just hit the hips. Okay, go back down, let the bar come away from you, and hit the hips. Okay? What we're looking for is that contact, and it is one of these things that if you want to be as efficient as you can in the snatch, contact with the hip crease. So we might have to bump our hands out. You might have to think about your posture. You might have to curl your knuckles underneath. Right? Those are the things that might help you get to the bar hitting your hip crease. But this is one of those non-negotiables. Okay? Again, we have to adapt. In CrossFit, you have to scale. You have to do a lot of things to make these things happen. Some of you guys are going to be power snatchers in here today, and that's totally fine. Some of you might make contact with the high thighs. Some of you might not make contact at all, but this is something that's very important. So all we're gonna do is develop that contact somehow. And it might just be something as simple as like something small like this. You guys see that? Nice and easy. Okay, now I feel that I've got decent contact. I can now go overhead and catch. Okay, so those are our 3 drills. Muscle snatch and squat. And then off the hips and catch. Okay, that's it. And then we're gonna get going. Guys, real quick before we break off, one last cue I have in the snatch, because there's so much now going on, okay? And we don't have as much time as I'd like to make sure that we're all snatching properly and all that. One thing I want to say, if you pull the bar slower and more controlled off the floor, don't put too much pressure in the initial pull. I promise you it'll work out better. Okay, so if you pull with some intention rather than yanking the bar off the floor, just control it, because it's likely that we deadlift quite a bit more than this, right? And when we deadlift, we're like, we gotta get going off of the floor. Because this weight is relatively light, there's not that much pressure off the floor. So pull controlled, then go. Control, then go. That is gonna be our biggest cue when you wanna max your snatch, okay? Nice and easy off the floor, explode off the hips. Have to change speed. Okay, we're building weight, right? And then we have 6 minutes to run and max out. Okay, build up weight, let's go. You go around the curve past the orange cone, which is the 400-meter mark, and then you go to the splash box. You also see
It is a pleasure to have you guys here. Tier House, we're doing like a massive move here, and just thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'll leave you with one thing that I learned from a guy named Alexei Tarakti. He was like, someone said to him, he's like, Alexei, I can't get the front rack right. And I tried doing the straps on the bar and all this. And Alexei just looks at me and goes, did you try 1,000 times? And so that's what I'll say with you guys. you really want to get better at the snatch, don't get frustrated. Try it 1,000 times, then get frustrated, okay? Thank you guys so much. I love doing this, and I appreciate your time. We're gonna bring it up, do a nice little break. Should we do it over the camera?
Dude, let's do it.
Okay. All right. We'll do tier on 3, and then we're gonna all get together for a picture. We'll all line up right here, okay?
What are we gonna say?
Tier. It's that simple. Tier on 3. 1, 2, 3.